Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 50, 51, 53, 50... Welcome to episode 50-something of the Spearhead Sundays podcast. Did you have a nice week? Was it good? What did you get up to? Oh, really? That's just amazing. That's so thrilling to hear that you did that with your life. Do you want to know what I did with my life? Let me fucking tell you, all right? Let me tell you what I did. I went to a carnival with my girlfriend. We went on a fucking drive. Sometimes we do this, right? When we get bored, we just drive nowhere. We just go in one direction and we see wherever that takes us. And then we just do whatever's there. And we drove for like 2 hours somewhere in some sort of direction. It definitely wasn't directly up because we were in a car, not a rocket ship. But we did go forwards for a long time. And then we rocked up in this little town and it had a fucking carnival on with all these rides. And I hate rides. Fuck rides. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why you would entrust your life to someone who works at a carnival. Like, don't think about the fucking, the ride. Look, they've got little safety belts and they tuck you in and they check that you're all in. That's the safe bit. The fucking dangerous bit that people don't think about is the fucking rides are assembled and disassembled by someone who works at a carnival. Not a scientist, not an engineer, not the guy who designed the machine that's going to throw you around at 100 kilometers an hour, 3,000 meters in the air, upside down. No, a fucking minimum wage carnival worker is going to assemble that in the morning while he's hungover. Because you know what? That would be the shittest fucking job. I guarantee you whoever's building that contraption doesn't have a passion for it, so they're going to do a half-assed job. And that's why people die. The ride is safe, but the cunt building it is not, right? Because, dude, think about if you worked at a carnival, you're going to go to that shithole town that you've probably been to 4 times in a row. The only good thing to do there is get pissed. So you'll get there and then you'll get pissed and then you'll wake up in the morning and it's time to build the fucking thing while you're hungover. And then you half-ass it and then some kid spins around at 300 k's an hour and then gets flinged all the way to China, breaks his neck when he hits the ground. That's why I'm not going to get on a ride. Fuck roller coasters, alright? Fuck those things that send you up really high and then you drop down really fast. If I wanted to do that, I would just fall over. I'm high enough already. Fuck those. You know what the worst ones are? Those fucking swings. You know those swings that are it's literally just a seat and then chains and then it spins really fast and you go in a circle. Fuck that. I don't know, like that's just the dumbest ride I've ever seen in my life. I see all these fucking idiots spinning around in a circle and I'm just waiting for one of those chains to snap and then they get fucking flung off into space, alright? I don't do those rides. And you know what? I'm pretty sure that I'm too tall for those fucking rides anyway. And the thing is, my girl loves that shit. She loves all that exhilarating rush shit. And I'm like, dude, I've got no interest in risking my life so I can spin around in a circle fast. That's literally it. Hey mate, do you want to spin around? I would, dude, even if it was safe, even if it was 100% safe, right? I don't want to spin around in a circle really fast for $20. I'm not going to pay someone to fucking spin me around. That's the dumbest shit ever. Dude, if some guy came up to you in the street and was like, "G'day, darling. Give me $20 and I'll spin you around." You'd be like, fuck off. But for some reason, because it's at a carnival, and there's a whole bunch of kids around, and it's just shit. I'm not going to do it. I refuse. I think I'm too tall for it anyway. All these roller coasters, they have a minimum height. They must have a maximum. They just don't. You know what? I'm going to look it up. I bet there's a fucking maximum height for roller coasters. Because you know what? I'm looking for a legitimate excuse to just say no. Maximum height. Oh, I'm so stupid. I just Googled maximum height. Of what, dickhead? What's the maximum height? Maximum height of roller coaster. Maximum height requirements to ride. All right. Here we go. Oh, sick. Dude, okay, I'm just reading a forum, okay? So, this guy is 6'4", so he's smaller than me. And he goes to... This woman, she comments, "Hey there, me and my boyfriend went to a roller coaster vacation park thing in America. I'm not that tall, but my boyfriend is. The first time we went there, we were told that he was too tall for the ride, but then the second time we tried again an hour later, they let us in." Why would you do that? Obviously, the first time you tried it, the cunt there was doing his job and was like, "Nah, you're too tall for the ride." What does that mean? If you go on this ride, you could die. That's what that means. Not, get out. It's not a racist thing. It's like, "Nah, sorry, mate, you're too black for the ride." It's you don't fit properly in a safe way in the machine. And then this fuckhead comes back around in 2 hours and goes, "Oh, I'm going to go back in." See? And the second guy didn't do his job because he was probably fucking hungover. And you know what else gets me? This is what else gets me about these rides, man. You know how, right, so obviously they build them every day. And they build them on unstable ground. They build them on uneven fucking grass. It's just grass, right? It's not a fucking concrete, exactly flat surface. It's fucking grass. So if you have a look at these things, what they have is they've got like the main part of the fucking ride. And then below that they have the scaffolding that holds it up, like the feet of the machine. I bet an engineer's listening to this going, "You fucking spastic." But you know what I'm saying? Like the legs of the machine. The legs, you fucking idiot. How do I say this? Like a table, right? That's like the table has a flat surface, and then below that it's got the legs. Now, because they put the legs on the fucking uneven ground, obviously that doesn't work properly. So you can see that one of the legs is, often on all these machines, one of the legs is too short, so they put a fucking piece of wood under it, like a napkin under the table, because it's uneven and it's wobbly. I don't know about you, but I'm not going to trust my life to some cunt who's using the napkin method on a gravity-defying machine. And every time we go to carnivals, I've got to have this fucking fight with my girl. "Oh, it's safe." I'm like, "Yeah, it's safe until you go on." And then I look up a video of just a body flying out of a roller coaster because the hungover cunt didn't secure in properly. Or one of the swings coming off their chains and the kid just flying in outer space. And the mum's just like, "Oh, he's a Martian now. We're never going to find him." So yeah, I'm not going on those rides. What else did I do? That's right. I wanted to talk about fucking goals. Where's my notebook? Oh, dude, I lost my notebook. And when I say my notebook, I mean the joke book that I've had since the start of 2016 that has every joke I wrote and every idea I wrote this year for my stand-up show. It had my whole fucking show in it, and I lost it. I had no idea where it was, and on the front cover, it has written, "This book belongs to Lewis Spears. This is my address. I will give you $200 if you find it and bring it to my house. Here is my mobile phone number. Like, it says that. And I have $200 sitting on the fucking, what am I saying? On my desk that I keep there and don't spend because I'd love to spend it just in case some cunt finds my book and brings it home and then I can give it to them instead of being the guys like, oh, give me your bank details, I'll transfer it to you, and then never doing that. But yeah, so I lost it, and I was trying to figure out where I left it. I was looking at all of the comedy rooms that I perform at. I was going through all of the photos from the past week that people have taken of me on stage, and I'm looking at the stage, because I usually have my book on the stage, trying to figure out where I left it. I went to 3 different rooms, looked for their lost property and all this kind of shit. And then I asked Jazz, I'm like, hey, the only other place I can think of is that it's at your house. That's the last place I remember. Can you have a look in your house? And she has a look, and she's like, yeah, I can't find it. So I'm freaking out now. I tear apart my house, can't fucking find it. I'm looking everywhere, and then I keep racking my minds. I'm like, no, the only place that it makes sense is Jazz's room. That's the last place I remember it being. And then I was like, can you please check again? She goes, I'm not an idiot, Lewis. You are, okay? And I was like, yeah, fair enough. It mustn't be there. But I kept coming back to that. Fucking 5 days later of solid searching, I go to Jazz's house, and I've given up. I'm like, yeah, it's gone. I open the door to her room, and the first thing I see is the fucking book under her bed. But yeah, so I found it, and now I will forever have that over her, and I'll never let her forget it. If I'm 20 years from now, if she goes, I can't believe you forgot your wallet. Oh my God, we need to give birthday money to our 10 grandkids. I'll be like, look, bitch, remember when you couldn't find my fucking diary and I found it under the bed in half a second and I told you to look 3 times? So you're the real idiot here, and I'll never let her forget it. And you know what? If I keep doing that, we're probably not going to make it to 20 years. So I have my book. Give me a second, I'll find it, and I'll get out my goals for 2017. All right, I got my book. See? The magic of fucking editing. That took me about 10 minutes to find, because my room is a piece of shit. Because I've been so busy with this fucking show. All right, so first what I'm going to do, because I love New Year's resolutions, man. I think they're important. I know it's all bullshit, and it's not real, but I think not New Year's resolutions, but setting goals in general is just a really good idea. I think it helps you keep track of your life and on target with your fucking goals, right? So if you write it down and you have it there, what I do is I have my fucking goals printed out and I put it on my wall. So I got to wake up every day and look at this monumental thing that I have to do by the end of 2017. And I'm like, oh my God, that's a big thing. I better do this little thing, right? Motivating and terrifying. All right, so I suppose I'll start off with my goals for 2016, and we'll see if I did everything. I think I did most of it, right? So my goals for 2016 was I wanted 150,000 subscribers. I almost made it. I got to 133. I wanted 80,000 Facebook fans. I nailed that one. I wanted 3,000 podcast downloads an episode. I fucking doubled that. So great. I wanted a new 40 minutes of stand-up material, and I did that. I wanted to save $3,000, and I did not do that. I wanted to get ads on the podcast. I kind of did that. I did that for 4 episodes, and they didn't come back, and nobody else came back. I'm going to give myself a tick, but it's not exactly what I wanted. A regular thing so I could, whatever. I wanted to be sold out of merchandise. I did that. I wanted to be driving. Did not do that. I'm still a fucking invalid. I wanted to be a lot fitter than I was. I did do that. I put on 5 kilos. That's good. And I'm not done, by the way. I want to be 80 kilos before my tour. That's a secret goal that I did achieve that I'm not going to tell you guys about. You'll find out more later. I wanted to plan my marketing plan for the new show. I did that. I wanted to have my merchandise designed. I did that. I wanted to release my mixtape. I didn't manage to do that, but that'll come out after my tour. And I wanted to be out of debt, and I did that. So that was awesome because I was in debt just because I was just silly with money, and I would use credit cards and all that kind of shit, and I was just bad with money. And now I'm not anymore. I'm still broke as fuck, but not in debt. All right, now let's look at those are all my goals. So the only things I didn't do was the 150,000 YouTube subscribers, and I almost got there. I'm not driving, and I didn't release my mixtapes. That's pretty fucking good. Or did almost everything I wanted to do. Let's look at what I want to do for this year, okay? I got a lot of shit I want to do. So my goals are, I want to go on a big tour. So that's going to happen. That's a secret one that I can't tell you about. You'll find out more later. I want to do everything with my own money. I want to fund everything myself. I don't want to have some manager or agent pay for shit. I don't want to have a corporate investor pay for all this shit, because then I would have to limit my message and what I say. So I want to still do it on the back of my own money, which all comes 100% from you guys and the people supporting me on Patreon. So thank you very much. I hope that I can keep this up. What else? I want to get 300,000 subscribers. That's a secret goal. I want to get on television for my work legitimately. So an interview or something. I don't know, just something. I want to get on television and it's not a hoax. I mean, I would love to do some more hoaxes, but I would also like to just get on TV just once, see what it's like. I want to perform in America, even if it's just a fucking open mic. I want to get, this is a big one, I want to get 20,000 listens on every podcast episode. I just realized looking at that now, I think that would make this the biggest podcast in Australia. So maybe I might dial that one back down. We'll see what happens. I want to stay sober. That's easy. I want to get even fitter. I think I want to be 85 kilos, maybe 90. I think 90 might be too big. I don't know. I want to fill out a t-shirt, but I don't want to be too big, because then I'll just be that giant cunt. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm so tall. If I was also big, I think I would just be a freak, and it would make me less funny. Like on stage, I would get on stage. Right now I get on stage and everyone goes, "Oh wow, he's so tall." Before it used to be, "Oh wow, he's so tall and he looks emaciated." So I was a freak on that side. But if I get on stage, I'm like, "Oh my god, that guy's just huge in every way. I can't stop thinking about that cunt. What a freak." It makes you less funny, I think. What else? That's a secret. I want to do a live podcast. Oh, I did that in 2017. Oh shit. I'm doing my goals already. I'll give that one a tick. I want to learn how to box. That's the thing that I want to do. I want to do boxing. I don't ever want to fight competitively, because I don't know. I just don't have that drive to beat people. Do you know what I mean? Even when I played tennis, I never cared about winning over somebody else. I've always liked competing with myself, but other people, I'm like, I don't care, That's a secret. I would like to do a rap show live as well. I would like to perform, whether I'm opening for somebody else or do my own show. I'd like to do that. And then I would like to justifiably buy something ridiculous. And that means just buy a really expensive thing and not be like, "Oh, that was a dumb idea." Which it is a dumb idea. I don't know why that's a goal. Well, those are my goals. I guess I'll keep you updated if I can do them this year. If you have your own as well, you really should. It's still fucking January. You really should write down your goals for the year and see if you can do them. That was not a very entertaining fucking part of the podcast, was it? I was thinking that would be a lot more entertaining than it was, but yeah, not really. Man, you know what I read this morning? I went to a fucking cafe to get some breakfast, and I saw in the headline of The Age or some shit, some newspaper, the government, it's actually a really good idea. The government is releasing this app that only people who are qualified first aid certificate holders, so that whenever someone has a heart attack, this app will send out an alert to people that are in the area, and you can go and help them, because obviously there are too many heart attacks and not enough ambulances. And I think that's a great idea. It's basically like Uber, but for heart attacks. So a lot more depressing. But you know what? I don't have a first aid certificate. I do want to get one, but I don't have one. I wouldn't have that app on my phone, even if I had the certificate, because you know what? It'd stress you out heaps, I reckon. Because imagine, right? It's like fucking, I don't know, 6 a.m, you're asleep and you get an alert and you don't hear it, and then you wake up at 10 and you see that you got a notification. Someone near you is having a heart attack. Do you want to help? And you're like, oh, fuck. It's been a couple hours. Hope they're all right. You'd feel guilty. Or what if you were just doing something else? Because you're not a paramedic. It's not your job. And it's like, you should help. But I don't know. What if you get these alerts like often? Like every couple of weeks? Surely one time you'd get an alert and you'd just be like, I really got to do this though. Like what if you're on a date with a girl? You a Tinder date with a girl the first time you meet her, you sit down. So what do you do? What do you do? Oh, wow, you work in a call center. That's cool. A customer service? Oh, yeah, no, I know, yeah, customers, that could be hard. I work in retail, so, yeah, I've got some stories. Oh, 1 second, I just got a notification, and it says, like, fucking 300 meters away from you, someone's having a heart attack, and you look at the notification, and then you look at your date, and then you look at the notification, and then you look at your date, and you go, oh, I can't pass up these tits. And you just put your phone back in your pocket. Sorry, Grandma. Sorry, whoever's grandma that is. I'm trying to get laid tonight. Hope somebody else picks up that call. I don't know. It's a good idea, but surely it would just fucking stress me out. Even just the act of going, no, I'm not going to help this person. Because I assume, right, the app the message would go out and then it would, it would bring in someone would go, yeah, I'll help them. And then they go there. But then it would go out, the notification would go out to other people and you would say, no, I can't help. Or yes, I can help. So surely even just the act of going, no, I can't help, would just make you feel like shit. Do you know what I mean? But, good luck to him. I hope it works. It'll probably work. It'll probably be a massive idea. Look at me, trashing an idea that is literally just there to save people's lives. That's the only reason it's there, is to save people's lives, and I'm trashing it. What a fucking asshole I am. But you guys seem to like me that way, so whatever. I wanted to say thank you to everybody who came down to the trial show of Try and Stop Me on Thursday. It was a really fun night. What I did was, basically a trial show is before a comedian does their whole hour for the first time, it's very important to do a trial show, because how we perform and how we write the show is we do 5-minute spots and to write jokes. And basically that leaves you at the end of the year with an hour's worth of 5-minute jokes. Do you know what I mean? So then you have to figure out how to turn those 5-minute bits and make them run together to make a solid, smooth hour of comedy. Do you understand what I mean? So like, otherwise, because I feel like my first show, because I was so new, was just funny joke, funny joke, funny joke, funny joke and then you had an hour of funny jokes, but it didn't really flow that way. It was a good show, but it didn't feel like a complete hour. It felt like separate jokes, because that's what it was. And then my second show was much more this joke flowed into the next one, and I did a bit about hairdressers, which flowed well into another joke about gay Hitler and whatever. And that was a really, really good show. And so basically what a trial show is the chance to do all of those jokes that you've written throughout the year for the first time and see how it feels all together. And if it's, if you've basically you find out if you've been wasting your time for the whole year or not. So I put out a thing on Snapchat and asked, who wants to come. I made the tickets pay whatever you want. 40 people got tickets. Guess how much money I made? Because it was pay what you want, $39. So the average price was less than $1 a ticket. So that was a little experiment to see how pay what you want would work. And it doesn't. I'm never doing it again. You guys blew it. But yeah, the trial show is definitely not about money. I didn't care. It was about having the opportunity to do that because it's really important. And yeah, so thank you to everyone who came down. And basically what happens is I went up on stage with my whole script for the show, all of the notes that I've written. Some of them were just joke about Thailand, because I know that one off by heart. Some of them were the whole script because I hadn't, it was one of the first times I performed them. But you know what? The show, after doing that, there was only one joke that was just not funny, and I've cut that one. Everything else worked really well, and I feel fucking great about how it's coming together. There's over a month until the tour, and I'm feeling really, really ready now. Like, I think this show is going to be very, very good. I'm really excited to do it. So thank you very much to everybody who came, everybody who gave me feedback afterwards. I talked to everybody as well. It's good to do those small shows so I can, did you like this bit? Was this bit too fucked? Was this too offensive? All that kind of shit. And the resounding fucking response was, nah, keep it that way. We like that it's offensive. Because there is one joke that I was like, oh, I don't know if I can say that. And then I said it. And only about 3 people didn't laugh because it was so fucked. Everybody else, you're all animals, loved it. So now I'm excited to do it in front of 300 people and say all the fuck shit that I want to say. So thank you very much for coming to the trial show. It's going to be really good. And fuck, the tour's coming up, man. It starts next month. I'm really excited. Next month, the first show in Geelong on March 3rd. Oh, heads up to people living in Geelong, there is less than 20 seats left. So that will probably sell out in the next week. I'm going to start ramping up the promo and everything, so now's a good time to grab tickets. What else is almost sold? So the next closest ones to selling out would be the Geelong show. It has less than 20 seats left. The Sydney show as well. I don't understand how I've sold that many tickets already to Sydney, but that one's really close to being sold out, so book for that one. And then also the next closest to being sold out is the first night in Melbourne. So those 3 shows I'd book for in the next week if you don't want to miss out. And everything else is over half full. So thank you very much for everybody booking. It's looking like the whole thing will sell out. Hopefully. I don't know what'll happen, but yeah, thank you. I'll see you there. All right, guys. Let's get into the worst part of the podcast, the miscellaneous bit at the end. Here's one about the show. This is a good one. So, dear Lewis, my name is Zach, and I'm currently trying to persuade my dad to let me come to your live show in Sydney. However, this is not an easy task. To most parents, you are likely the worst person for their child to be entertained by. And you know what? I'm sorry to break it to you, mate, but they're correct. You shouldn't be watching me. I would go as far as saying that you are pretty much the Antichrist. Okay, at least you know that. At least you know that, and you're into it. You aren't exactly a PG performer, but don't get me wrong, that's why I find your content so great. You're doing things that other comedians are not. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. That's what I try to do. So basically my question is, what do I show to my dad, or what do I say to him to convince him to let me attend? I also mentioned to him that we talked on Snapchat about the tour and got a facial expression that was extremely suspicious. So how do I convince him that you're also legit and not a child molester? Thanks, you lanky 6'8" whippet. Here are my contact details. Don't read these. And then he gives me his phone number and Snap. Dude, why would you give me your phone number? That's not exactly helping your case. Hey, I want to convince my dad that you're not going to rape me. By the way, here's my phone number. Give me a call. Like, dude, I'm not going to call you. I'm not going to add you on Snapchat either. Look, man, my shows, to be honest, I think it depends how old you are. You write well, so I guess you're at least 16. I would say the youngest you should be is 16, because my shows, most of the shows, all ages people can come into the venue because of licensing laws, or they serve alcohol at the bar and I perform in the theatre, so it's different. Do you know what I mean? So they're separate, so that legally you can go into the theatre and also you can take a drink from the bar into the theatre, but it's not like a bar, so kids can go in. So all ages people can come and see the shows, but it's not a kids show. Like it's proper stand-up comedy. It's not as fucked. I suppose it's not as fucked as Jim Jeffries, but if you've heard Bill Burr, it's along the same kind of vein of like talking about shit you shouldn't talk about, talking about subject you shouldn't talk about, swearing, all that kind of stuff. I would recommend my shows for at least 16 years old. And that's not because I don't think kids should come. I think that's because you need to be 16 to understand the shit that I'm talking about. Do you know what I mean? Like, I remember going to shows when I was 12, some adult shows, and I would just not really understand a lot of it. Like, I would like most of it, but then there was some shit where I'd be like, I just don't understand what he's talking about. So I would say 16 is probably the minimum age you should be to coming them, just because of the content of the show. It's not a kid's show. And you know, fucking... But at the same time, it is proper stand-up. Like, I have... Every show, there's at least 3 dads and mums in the crowd, and they genuinely like it because I perform all year to people who are not my fans. I perform in open mic nights and fucking comedy nights, and they've got no idea who the fuck I am. They don't know I'm going to be there. You know, they're just regular people. So you don't have to like my shit to understand it. So often parents will come with super low expectations and be pleasantly surprised. And I've had a couple come back multiple years, like and the parents, they want to, like, it's something that they can enjoy with their kids together. So, look, if you got a fucking parent, and you want to know what to show them, I've figured out, somebody else asked me this, and I figured out the most PC content I've ever put out, and it's actually perfect for parents. If you go on my YouTube and you look up, if mainstream media was a person, and that has hardly any swearing in it. It's a nice little PC sketch. It goes for 3 minutes, and it takes the piss out of the Herald Sun, which parents will know about. That's perfect, right? That's not going to offend anybody. So if you have to show your parents shit to let them let you go, show them if mainstream media was a person. And then when you get there, they'll realize, oh, fuck, this guy is nothing like that video. So yeah, show them that video, Zach. But look, I don't want to get you in trouble, because just as long as it's your fucking choice, right? The show is not a kid's show. Do what you like. Good luck, mate. Let me know if you're coming. Hope to see you there. All right, now we got one more. We got a story. Sorry, this is going to be a bit of a late one. I've got a bit of a quick podcast. Sorry, I've got to be somewhere. I've got some shit to do for my show. I've got some tech rehearsal thing that I got to do. So I'm going to do one more question, then we're going to wrap it up. But next week will be an hour again. All right, so I got this one. G'day, you string bean cunt. Love all your work, and I've been a fan from the beginning. Call me John. Alrighty, John. Here's a story from a few years back when I was at high school. See, I love... This is a vandalism story, guys. If you don't know me, I love a good bit of vandalism. If you've got some, don't go out and vandalize something and then tell me about it. But if you have something that you've done beforehand, I want to hear about it because it's very funny, all right? Call me John. Here's a story from a few years back when I was at high school. It landed us in a lot of trouble, but it was all worth it. At our school during the mid-year, there are plenty of unused lockers, and they don't have a lock on them. They're completely open. But by policy, you're not allowed to touch them or use them. My friends and I planned that we could pull a bit of a prank on the school and the students by making a horrible stench in the corridors. Genius! I did something similar. I had portable speakers, and I found an empty locker, and I put the speakers in the locker, locked it, and started playing porn noises for like a whole period, and they couldn't figure it out. And then all I did was I just paused it and then came back the next day and picked them up, and it was great. It was fucking porn noises. No one could figure out where it was coming from. That's a good tip, guys. Horrible stench in the corridors. We found a locker in the middle of the school where the majority of the students go between classes. So you're going for maximum damage. This is great. To go to their next classes, the bathrooms, or even to the staff room. We planned for the Friday morning. Genius, so it's there all weekend. You guys are all on top of it. This is great. We planned for the Friday morning that we'd bring plenty of fruits and meats to bring into the locker for it to rot and stink the entire joint out. We started off with bananas, apples, and some plums. We stood on them so the insects can eat it and it'll decompose a bit faster, you cunts. The coming Monday and Tuesday were days off. Oh, you're genius. You even went for the 5-day stink out. This is great, man. But Tuesday was a staff-only day, only the teachers are going to cop it. where they write reports. On Wednesday, as soon as we walked into the building that the locker was in, it was rotten as fuck. It was the talk of the town for weeks. After about solid 3 weeks, the maintenance cunts found the locker and bolt cutted it, cleaned out the decomposing and rotten fruits that were stuck to the metal. They used pressure washers because they didn't want to touch the fruit. The corridors were shut off for a few days, preventing people from going to their classes the traditional way, slowing everyone's day. So it's just absolutely being an arsehole for no reason and inconveniencing people in a very major way without ruining their lives. That's what I love, man. That's I get off on that shit, you know, just fucking making someone have to walk 100 extra meters every day because it's stinky somewhere else. That's great. All right. But then they step it up, which is great. After a few more weeks, we knew we wanted to upscale the terror in the school. A friend who I'm calling Billy took a fish from his freezer in the morning and put it in his bag. Billy knows what he's doing. I put the fish in the locker on Monday along with raw chicken, beef, mince, and some frozen peas. You can see... Oh, you sent photos. Oh, dude. Let me have a look at the photos. All right. I didn't know he sent photos. Let's have a look. Oh, sick. This is great. Yeah, so the locker is just packed full of fruit. There's shit everywhere. There's like, dude, you said some bananas, there's literally 10. There's like 10 bananas, there's 15 apples, oranges, all this kind of crap. That's amazing. Oh, there's a video. Why is there a video? Oh, this is going to be fucked. 8 seconds. Okay, so that is just them throwing a banana at the roof. So it's like a rotten black banana. It just goes everywhere, and it's in slow motion too. This is great. Listen. And it just goes all over the roof, and it's in a school. Oh, it's genius. I love you boys. Keep it up. Keep up the good, horrible work. All right, let's read the rest of it. Okay. Oh, man. Okay, so they filled the locker with raw chicken, beef, fish, mince, and frozen peas. The next day, the school was basically on lockdown. It stank so fucking bad, and the students couldn't bear it, and neither could the teachers. The stink lasted for 20 meters away from its location, and with no windows or airflow around, it made it even worse. Keep in mind, this was during summer, and the heat made food rot even more. Rats were running around in the school, insects were crawling in students' lockers, and people around the fish locker were forced to move to the other side of the school because the fish locker was placed next to the bathroom. Because the fish locker was placed next to the bathroom, the maintenance people and the head of the school thought the smell was coming from the bathroom. This is great. So they tore apart the 2 toilets, dug underground, and removed the plumbing. This is amazing. You guys cost the school thousands of dollars. You guys are horrible. This is great. I love it. Okay, so you got the administration to remove the fucking toilets, you animals. Oh my God, that's criminal. That's full-on vandalism at this point. It got to the point where the smell was so incredibly awful that the school had to move classes until they found the fish. Oh man, our friends wanted us to fess up. This is why you never do this shit with friends, because some cunt always feels guilty. Oh, we should tell them. No, you shouldn't. What is telling them going to achieve? Nothing. It's been done. Just don't do it again if you feel guilty, right? There's no use getting in trouble about it. Our friends wanted us to fess up, but we had to see this through to the very end. Yeah, I love you. I know that you're the mastermind behind this shit, dude. Eventually, they found the locker and had to use an angle grinder to open the locker since we used a non-bolt cuttable lock. You can't. They use one of those super like $100 locks that can't be cut with bolt cutters. You bastards. We made sure that we weren't in view of the cameras either, so we should be in the all clear. After the pandemonium and everything had settled, some random kid brought his own fish and put it in a locker. One of our friends, who is a cunt, told people in his class that we did the fish locker. The word spread, and the kid who put his own fish in the locker knew we had done the first one. He told the vice principal, and he was clear of any repercussions. We had multiple Saturday detentions, community service, and had to clean up papers and all that shit. That's amazing, community service. Yeah, you deserve it. Oh, and here he goes. After all of that shit happened, we resorted to throwing... Okay, you still going, you bastards. After that shit happened, we resorted to throwing fruit at the bathroom wall. We also waited for people to lock the toilet stalls and then threw apples at the wall above them, raining down chunks of apple at their heads. Anyway, I hope this makes it onto the worst segment of the show. Otherwise, I wasted 10 minutes writing this shit up. Have a shit one. Good luck on your tour. Thank you very much, mate. You made my day. That's a great story. You're a horrible human. And if there are any other horrible humans listening, I would really love to hear your stories. All right, that's going to wrap it up. If you want to send something into the podcast, send it into podcast@louspears.com. That's the email address. Send horrible stories. Send your New Year's resolutions. Send life advice questions, and I'll get to them and I'll answer them. That's about it, guys. If you would like to listen to the podcast early, support me on Patreon. I put it up a day early for everybody there. You can stream it, you can download it. It's all the same shit on your phone. You just get it earlier. That's it, guys. Have a shit one.